Well, hello, my friends, and welcome. Welcome to the Spanish cards reading. It is with great love and peace that I'm almost ready to read the cards. And this is going to be for the air signs. Okay, the air signs. We are going to be including Gemini, which is Nine of Cups. Then we have Libra, One of Swords, and then Five of Coins, and that's going to be for Aquarius. Now, overall, it's going to be just one card per sign. And the reason for that is because I really want to be able to emphasize what the divine energy wants to give you as a message. And it's more inclined to a Spanish card along with the astrology sign. I usually like to mix that. I feel that it's more in depth and it can give a bit much greater clarity. Once again, I'm starting this new Spanish card reading, which is quite uncommon compared to other tarot cards, which are fantastic. I like them too. But since I was very young, I'm originally from Spain. These cards are from Spain. And this is what we read. The well-known gypsies that came from all around Europe, they used to be future tellers. And these were the number one cards they used to read on the present and the future for many people. They used to travel, right? So let's get started. I'm really excited about this, and thank you for somehow you have reached my channel, and I'm so grateful for that. So we're gonna get to understand exactly what is the sign of each. Okay, and what's really telling you right now when it comes to based on your astrology. And as you can see, this right here, which is the Nine of Cups that applies to Gemini, it's a wonderful card. And I think the most important thing right now is that we look at what it brings right now to your present moment, but especially as astrology, that's what I'm trying to explain. This is not a monthly reading or weekly or daily. This is inclined more into your sign based on, like I said, the Spanish cards, which are quite different to, again, other ordinary type of tarot cards. And I think we're going to get started with that. I just wanted to take a couple of seconds here just explaining, the difference between the difference between tarots and Spanish cards. And I think that was, hopefully you found it interesting to learn. Okay, so let's get started, okay? So I want to get to share with you what signs are more compatible, okay, with air sign, okay? As I mentioned earlier, uh, three wonderful cards came out for the air sign, and the most compatible signs for romantic friendship, it's actually the fire signs. That's right. So if you are air sign, your most compatible sign for relationships are going to be your fire signs. So if you have other connections with people who are Sagittarius, who are Leo, who are Aries, those three fire signs are very, very compatible with the air sign. Okay. And in that part, I also want to mention, for an example, Gemini that got the Nine of Cups. Okay. They usually can get along with every single fire sign, but they definitely more inclined with, okay, guess which one? Can you guess it? They're actually more compatible, okay, with Aries, okay? Usually Aries and Gemini, they run together like two white horses, okay? They have a lot of propensity for riskier parts of life. They love hanging out with each other. They love having fun stuff doing in the weekends. They enjoy excitement. They're almost like kind of like childlike fire together. They allow each other to laugh and play for many years into the relationship. So I feel that the sign, like I say again, of Gemini, it's very compatible with Aries. Okay. It doesn't mean you're not compatible with other two signs of of fire. Don't get me wrong. But there's a little bit more tendency for you to probably have a better connection with an Aries. Okay. And then we're going to go right here in the middle, which is a one is war, and that is actually Libra. In Libra, in that case, it's more compatible actually with Leo. The interesting things about these two signs together is that they really understand each other. They desire to be seen together. They're considered to be more like a mutual understanding. Okay. They really give each other a lot of attention. They're very much into the physical, right? They love to show off a little bit. They like to show their appearance, their outfits, their homes, their belongings. They're very successful being together because of that, because they kind of inclined to, like I said, really get a lot of attention. And the truth is, the Leo loves, the big Leo loves to have that attention, but so does Libra. Okay. And what I really find interesting about these two signs, that they would never stand in the way against each other. So when they celebrate, they celebrate as a couple. And I think that just kind of boosts your relationship a lot more into a much perfect partnership. And then finally, a third card here, which is going to be Aquarius, right? And Aquarius, it's really interesting because, Aquarius is such a free spirit, and they've always been very independent. But at the same time, they are deeply seeking a soulmate, I would say. They go through a lot of relationships, don't get me wrong, because Aquarius, it has an inclination, especially when they're young, to change a lot of partners. Nothing wrong with that. But the reality is when they start aging, right? And that could be in the 30s or past their 40s, they realize that finally they want to kind of settle down. And I noticed that Aquarius usually, okay, they're very compatible with Sagittarius. And it's sort of like it's like a combination, okay, where together you have the power to create a whole new reality. And it's like you're going to, tune into exciting careers, communication. You love visiting foreign countries, so you're both going to be very compatible about that. Um, you're in fast pace of growth. You experience each other. Uh, their relationship really always grow. But most importantly, what I see is that they grow into two individuals who choose to stay together. That's very profound. So they both seek independency, but at the same time, they're compatible even if they stay together. And I think that's amazing. So I wanted to share what, like I said, what air signs are compatible. And now we're going to jump into actually, as I have taken a card from the Spanish deck, or as we call the Latin deck. And then we're going to go into what does the Nine of Cups really mean for the sign of Gemini right here that I'm pointing at. 9 really represents wealth gain from business dealings. Gemini has been a very successful sign when it comes to doing entrepreneurship or being a solo entrepreneur. Usually, they're not very good employees. because they really like to be independent, so they're more successful. So if you're wondering if you want to change, or maybe perhaps things are not going along with the type of work that you're doing, and you're working for someone else, okay, Gemini, you do have an inclination based in astrology and also on the Spanish card that has been selected for your sign, that it says that you're really more, for you to obtain, in other words, um, wealth, really good wealth, it's going to be through really business life, whether you do a partnership with someone else or whether you start your own business, but it's something inclined to business, not really to a job, in other words. Okay. So if you ever wonder how you're going to get to sustain that wealth, and stability of income, it's going to be more through your actual partnerships or businesses that you can start, not really a job. Okay. So that's the inclination to that core actually for Gemini. And then we're going to go for the next one. And then the one is war. And this is really interesting because this is for Libra. Okay. And I feel like Libra, it's a sign that most of the time they're very good about making decisions, but at the same times, I feel like sometimes they feel a little bit of confusion of not knowing exactly what directions they want to take. As we know, life is going to put us in different directions, all of us. It doesn't matter the sign that we are. But Libra sometimes can fall into a tendency of being very confused of what they really, want out of life. And I really like your card because the Spanish card is really showing, okay, that it's very powerful because this is number one, right? Number ones are usually, new beginnings. And I feel like the number one, when it comes to Spanish card, it's really security. It's very important for you to feel secure in whatever things that you do. Um, But I think your downside is that you have a tendency of doubting yourself a lot. And when we doubt ourselves, it's kind of we hold ourselves back. Okay. And because of that, I think there's been a lot of things in your life where perhaps you thought, I want to do this, but I keep hesitating because I doubt myself if I'm capable of doing it. And while I think that we all need to most of the time think twice before we make especially a big decision in our lives, right? But sometimes, life is a sometimes just taking, a leap of faith. Okay, so at least I can say a leap of faith of knowing that sometimes we have to leave, our doubtness and our, insecurities, and know that sometimes we just have to jump in and remove the doubt that we have to be able to progress in life. And I think if you can do more calculated risk, okay, Libra, with that beautiful card that you have over there, the number one is war, you're going to notice that if you have no room for doubt, you can see how your life can expand a lot. Okay. I see a lot of them, they're very much into the law, you're into justice. I think these are kind of client careers that might help you a lot to even shine more your light. And but you're always looking for total security. And I think what kind of pulls you back is your doubts. And we all have them, don't get me wrong. But there's some signs specifically that have a little more inclination to that. And I just want you, if you ever feel that you were held back, is because of those doubts, that I guess you need to kind of little trust more the process of life in God, or, the creator, whatever you want to believe in, or the much greater that I think we have. And that's your message is really maybe just trust yourself a little more and leave some of those doubts on the side. Okay, Libra. So, and then finally, our third sign, which is beautiful, the 5 of gold coins, is for our amazing Aquarius sign. And we know that Aquarius, they have a tendency usually to be, a little bit on the wild side. They, like I said, they enjoy their lives. They have had many partners. They have wonderful life in that sense. And I think they really have been born with a very bright light. I really, really, there are so many Aquarius that I know, including having my family members. And I see them that they can hit rock bottom, and one way or another, they're so resilient that they're able and capable of just climbing back out of the ashes, honestly. And when they come back strong, and especially if they have that, again, that strong faith in them, they're capable of changing people's life, not only their lives, but changing other people's lives that they touch along the way. So I really think that Aquarius had been born with a very lucky, bright star. Like I said, I have many Aquarius that I know where they have a tendency of falling into what we call recreational, substance, and whether it's alcohol, whether it's even drugs, or even both. And yet they can hit rock bottom, but some way, somehow, the majority, they really are able of clean up their lives and almost like having a second and third chance. And that's incredible. They're very giving. And I think that what really this 5 of coin is telling you is that anytime that we see gold, obviously is it's abundance, right? And that abundance is really has to do with Aquarius pretty much in the workplace. Aquarius is very independent, right? Like Libra, but there's a tendency where they can become very good leaders in a workplace, very good leaders on number 5 Aquarius. And they have this phenomenal uh kind of like guidance of other people who probably have been there before them, but yet they're able to move forward and really implement a lot of changes in the workplace. um Most people, they're very good because they're very well spoken. By the way, Aquarius have a tendency of articulating very well. Once other signs that kind of similar to Aquarius, what we say would be pretty much Leo, and um, and also Gemini. Really, you're very you can articulate very well. You're very good when it comes to sales and making a lot of money. You're a little bit more of a extrovert side than many other signs, like the water signs. We're a little bit more reserved, right? But since you're into the air sign, that's the inclination that you have. And I think that, like I said again, Aquarius can be very independent too, but usually they fit very well. They know how to fit very well, working as a team, as long as they feel they're being treated right. And like I said, they can make a lot of changes in the company, in the corporation. They really, really can. They're very good in assembly meetings, being able to pass a very clear message. Okay. They have tendency of working sometimes in the hospitality industry or probably for non-for-profits, somewhere where they are being allowed to express their thoughts. And I think that's what it makes the cry so amazing. And again, this is the reading for the air signs. I hope you enjoy it. And and like I said, this is something new that I'm doing right now, and I'm really excited. It was just a calling that I wanted to do. And again, it's not typical. These are the Spanish cards, like I said, the Latin decks. They're not tarots. They're not considered tarots at all, but there are very, very old. It's been used, I think pretty much since the 10th century, and the gypsies used to use these cards. So anyhow, I hope, my friends, that you'd like this reading. Again, this is a pretty much universal reading, one Spanish, card for each sign. And this was again for the air sign. I will be seeing you hopefully again. And thank you for watching, and hopefully for liking, and please share and subscribe. It always helps to bring more exposure to my new channel, and yeah, I will appreciate your support. Namaste. Thank you so much, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye bye.